By show of hands, who likes blueberry pancakes? Okay guys, it's time to plant the garden today. But before we plant the garden, we want to add some stuff to the soil. As you saw in a previous video, I went down in the river bottoms and got this soil. This literally came 300-400 yards from the Arkansas River. It does have some organic matter in it. I got it under a pothole that was covered in water, but it has a lot of sand. And so what we want to do today before we plant is we want to turn in some peat humus, which is kind of like peat moss, but it doesn't retain as much water, and a 50-50 mix of compost and cow manure. Now I live on a farm, I could go dig my own cow manure and compost and do all that. That's $1.85 a bag. I wanted 4 bags. I'd rather pay $1.85 than I would dig 40 pounds of horse manure or cow manure and put it in the back of the truck. So what we've done is we've went through and pulled some of the bigger weeds. All the dirt is settled. We're going to sprinkle this over the top of the dirt, and then we'll get a shovel, turn it all under. Once we get it all kind of mixed up, we'll get a rake and level it out. Then we'll plant, mulch it in straw. So stick around, we'll show you how it goes. Okay, so that's 1 bag of compost and 1 bag of humus moss added to the existing dirt. You can tell it's a lot darker, and that's what we wanted. We wanted some organic matter added. Now I'll just get a shovel and start mixing it up. And this is not, I'm not trying to make a thorough mixture. I just want the added ingredients incorporated into the existing dirt. You can see how by adding that dark compost and the peat humus that we end up with an overall darker bed. There may be some clumps of peat, there may be some clumps of compost, there may be some clumps of our original sandy soil. That doesn't matter to me. Pretty much it's been mixed, and the top 10 inches is all I'm really focused on anyways. Okay. All right, we got it all done with the help of my trophy wife. She did half the work, I did the other half, and we got everything leveled up. You may see some sparkle to it. That is magnesium sulfate, which I've been told is the same thing as Epsom salt, and it helps prevent yellow leaf rot and increases blooms. Peppers really like it. That far bed over there is getting peppers in it, so I put a little more on it. The application rate is 1 pound per 100 feet. So I just divvied up that amount over the garden, and then I over added over there. So the compost is added, the peat humus is added, the magnesium sulfate is added. We need to get that little group of plants in the ground. Let me tell you what I got in this first bed, and that'll also remind me in case I lose my tags. The very first pepper plant right down here is a Tabasco pepper plant. And then right next to it, the next 2 here are both mild jalapenos. Last year we couldn't tell any difference between the mild and the hot, so we just bought mild. Then we have a sweet banana pepper there, and then past it is an orange bell pepper and a red bell pepper on the end. And we'll add a couple more pepper plants in the little gap down towards the end of the bed. Let's go, show you this while we're here. Right there is some pickling cucumbers. Last year we planted regular cucumbers, and this year we decided to do something different. So I'll build a frame for those. I'll probably get some more cane, put that up, so we'll have pickling sized cucumbers this year. We have 1 zucchini plant right there in the middle bed all by itself. We're going to see how far it spreads out. We'll put some other stuff in there later. On the opposite bed, this would be the northern bed, I have 6 Arkansas Travelers. That was our favorite tomato. It grew the best for us last year. It's It's not a giant tomato. It's kind of tennis ball size, and it's a pink color. We like that real well. And then on the very end, in the corner right there, is the yellow pear tomatoes, and they're the small, just kind of oblong shaped, pear shaped yellow tomatoes. And right next to it is a new tomato that we're trying. It's Cherokee Carbon, and it's kind of a take on the Cherokee Purple, which was also a tomato that grew well for us. It produces a very dark red, purplish colored meat. It's an irregular shape. It has a lot of wrinkles in it. It's not great for peeling, but it has a lot of meat to it. It's not a real juicy tomato. It's got a lot of good meat to it. And so we have one of those, and then we'll get a couple more and put beside it later. Probably regular Cherokee Purples instead of the new hybrid. Anyways, that's the dirt. That's the garden. That's where we are. We get some more plants. We'll stick them in. Something happens, I'll tell you about it. Otherwise, I'm going fishing.